Arsenal 5, Crystal Palace 1. What a slapping. I did mention yesterday that we will slap these teams. To be honest, I didn't say it about Crystal Palace. I said it about Newcastle, but good to see that we have done it to Crystal Palace after playing them in the League Cup a couple of days ago and obviously winning narrowly 3-2. I say narrowly when their second goal came in, like it didn't seem like they were going to come back in the game. We seemed comfortable, but today was easily a very comfortable game. Very comfortable game, especially in that second half. Um, incredible masterclass by Gabriel Jesus. 5 goals against Crystal Palace in the space of 3 or 4 days. What a beast. What a beast. Now, obviously, look, I'm not going to go crazy and overreact and say, he's back and we don't need to strike on all the crap now. He needs to do this consistently over at least 5 or 6 consecutive games for me to say. I'm not saying score a hat trick or a brace in 5, 6 consecutive games, but I mean, perform this good in like 5 or 6 consecutive games, even if he doesn't score a brace or a hat trick. Um, but yeah, what a fantastic performance. This game was a game of silent. This game was a match for silencing the doubters in many ways. Silencing doubters who thought Arsenal don't have a chance of challenging, or Arsenal not good enough. They're gonna fall back and or they're gonna regress. Um, Doubters who said Jesus is done and he has no way of coming back again and he's a shit striker. Doubters for Kai Havertz playing in the middle. Doubters of Martinelli, who ended up scoring as well and creating the third goal. And doubters of Declan Rice, who said this season he's been bad and comes off the bench. Fantastic goal. The funny thing is, outside of Declan Rice part, I was one of those people in all the other 4 things. I didn't think we will progress this season. To be honest, I still don't. Like, this result doesn't change anything. But at least I thought we'd win, and I predicted a 2-0 scoreline, but I didn't think it'll be this comfortable though, and we'll slap them up this way. I definitely didn't think Martinelli is good enough, and he moved to the right and still played decent. I don't want to see him on the right wing consistently, to be fair, but given that Saka had to come off injured, like I think he did a decent job there. Gabriel Jesus masterclass, as I said. I'm still not gonna go crazy and say he's back or he's the Jesus of 2 seasons ago, because we need to see that consistently for the next 4 or 5 games at least. I definitely did not think Kai Havertz would be working out in the middle, and to be fair, I will defend that point a little bit because I personally still don't think he had a fantastic game. Like, he obviously took the goal well. He did what a good striker should be doing, and that is following up on shots and following up on rebounds, which he obviously did well when Jesus took that header. And it's sad that Jesus couldn't get his hat trick because that was a good header, but obviously hit the post. But Kai Havertz did what he needed to do, and there were a couple of moments when he initiated good counterattacks, got the ball, and started running quick. But the main job I would expect from a midfielder, maybe that's not his role. He wasn't tasked that, but what I'd expect from my midfielders is dominating possession, keeping the ball, creating chances, and I don't think he did a lot of that enough, in my opinion. But and I still don't want to see him playing in the middle quite often. I don't mind him starting in the middle against Ipswich next week on Friday, but I wouldn't want to see him start consistently as an 8 for us. But this game, he did what he needed to do, and obviously when he came off, I think the score was 4-1, so it was kind of dusted already. Odegaard, I think, was decent in some pockets here and there. I don't think he got any assists today, but he still had a decent game for me. Like, maybe not his best game, but decent. Very shaky performance from the centre backs, from the defenders. From Gabriel and Saliba, because Timber's yellow card was because of the throw-in. So it wasn't because of his performance, but that was still a silly yellow card to get. But Saliba, that first half was damn shaky. He redeemed himself in the second half, started defending a lot better, started doing better on the ball. But that first half was horrendous, and we should have conceded a second goal with that mistake he made. But yeah, look, we recovered well. I would have been quite disappointed if we didn't win this game because Crystal Palace only have one win at home this season, and that one win is against Spurs. I keep saying this because I want people to know that Spurs is the gift that keeps on giving, obviously. Um, so I definitely did expected us to win, but just again, as I said, not this dominant. Um, Gabriel Jesus, man, I need to talk about him a bit more. Um, the fact that he scored a hat trick against Crystal Palace and then comes back again and does this, and there's a lot of differences I'm seeing in his game and like this game and the last game compared to how he was before this season and even last season. He didn't want to get into the box that often. He always wanted to be involved in the play, and this time like his positioning and awareness to where to be was just fantastic. Like for the first goal, waiting at the back post, obviously very very good first time finish. The second goal as well, waiting on the outside, and I think he kind of knew that um Partey, like when he saw Partey was going to lay the ball to him, he was just ready and he placed it beautifully. And I've seen him place balls like well that way before, but obviously we haven't seen it in such a long time that it kind of seemed like quite foreign. Um, and then obviously the third goal that Kai Havertz scored, fantastic header. I don't blame him for doing that because he placed it well. He didn't hit it straight at the keeper. I would have been pissed off if he hit it straight at the keeper, but he aimed and he tried to place it, and that was a very good header in my opinion. And obviously Kai Havertz finished the rebound, and even the fourth goal that Martinelli scored, like Gabriel held his head like after Martinelli scored because he was disappointed. He should have got a hat trick. He should have finished that chance, and unfortunately. Um, um, uh, and we got a glimpse of the Jesus from a couple of games before when he missed that chance. He should have scored it. Even if it came on his left foot, he should have finished it at either side, and he shot it straight at the keeper. But luckily enough, it was a um, uh, decent enough finish or decent enough strike that it rebounded, and Martinelli um, was able to get that finish. Um, yeah, and obviously Declan Rice coming off the bench, he did well, I think, on the ball, and what a beautiful strike, beautiful, beautiful strike. I'm glad Calafiori also got some minutes because we need him to be there in the next few games, as good as Lewis Kelly has done, and I think Lewis Kelly will give the fans a lot more confidence now on our left back situation. We have Calafiori, obviously, we have Lewis Kelly, and I'm assuming Lewis Kelly will still start the next game because he's done well this game. Um, but it's good to see that Calafiori's come back. I was scared that he's gonna be out again after that tackle by Klein. It was a horrendous tackle, but thankfully he got up and he continued the game and even got an assist. Um, I will say that that goal we conceded, I think Saliba should have done a lot better. And not just Saliba, even like when Saw received the ball from the middle of the pitch, he had too much space. And I think that's one downside of having Kai Havertz there. I'm not blaming Kai Havertz for that goal, but I'm saying when we usually have the double pivot, like Partey or Rice would be there to block that run of Sar. I felt maybe I could just be speaking out of my ass because I maybe Partey should have still been closer to Sar. I'm not sure. Um, Plus, I felt Partey was not sprinting like at full speed to try and catch up to Sar. But yeah, Saliba should have closed them down. 100% should have closed them down a bit more to try and stop him from taking the shot. It was a good finish for sure, but silly goal for us to concede, in my opinion. But it is what it is. We played with a high intensity. We showed determination. And look, even though we conceded chances, but this is the risk we have to take. Because when you play these kind of games and you attack and they counterattack you, yes, Crystal Palace could have scored a couple of times. But we were able to destroy them and score those goals because of the way we committed people forward and the way we were attacking. That first goal we scored, Gabriel was in the box. Gabriel Magalhaes was in the box. Kai Havertz was in the box. What's his name? I think Martinelli maybe was in the box as well. Gabriel Jesus was in the box. This is what happens when you commit people. You will concede attacks, yes, but because you are much better than them defensively and offensively, you are going to end up getting the better out of the other team, especially when you're playing against a team like Crystal Palace. I'm not saying play with this exact same style against Liverpool and Chelsea and Man City, but against Crystal Palace and Brentford's and all, we should be playing that kind of way and opening up the game a lot more. So I'm glad we did, and we saw the result, slapping of 5-1. Um, I'm not going to say Arsenal are going to win the league. I'm still not going to say that we will overtake Liverpool. I don't think so. If Liverpool lose tomorrow to Spurs, then you know what? Maybe we'll have a chance. of catching up to them. I think we really shot ourselves in the foot against Everton and against Fulham, because had we won those two games and had let me take it a step back, because everyone can say had you won, like anyone could have said had you won. Even Liverpool can say had we beat Newcastle, had we beat Fulham. But I think what happened against for Liverpool against Newcastle and Fulham, they didn't abandon their principles. They still attacked, they still tried, they still committed people, but it is what it is. Like, some bad luck happens. In my opinion, we shot ourselves in the foot by playing such slow football against Fulham and against Everton. And had we picked up the pace, picked up the intensity in those two games, I think we would have won both. And right now, um, right now we would have been 4 points better off. We probably would have been a point ahead of Liverpool, obviously with them having a game in hand. And then I would have said, yeah, I think we're definitely winning the league. But yeah, I think those games will come back to haunt us by the end of the season. Hopefully, I'm wrong. I need a lot more evidence to believe. Even if Liverpool lose tomorrow, I still wouldn't say that we're favorites. I'll still say they're favorites, because Spurs away is a difficult game for a lot of big teams. But yeah, let's see what happens. Good thing is now we have 6 day break, a 6 day break, right? Because our next game is on Friday against Ipswich. Should be an easy game. I really don't want to jinx it. I know Premier League there's no easy games, but it should be an easy game. I don't know if he will start the exact same team. I feel like he will want to start Kai Havertz again in the 8. He definitely will start Jesus after this performance. Saka, clearly, that's the one bad news about today, and I haven't spoken about it as much because it just pains me to talk about it. But we did see Saka go down in the first half. It looked like a hamstring injury. I could be wrong. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if there's any update. I'm gonna see right now if there is any update. I don't think there is, but it did look like a hamstring injury. And if it is a hamstring injury, then obviously that will mean that he could be out for at least 3 weeks. So he's gonna miss the Ipswich game. In which case, let's see what kind of lineup Arteta picks. I would like to see him play Waneri on the right. By the way, left-footed player who, I know, yes, he's a midfielder, but he can also play on the wing. He can take on players. He can shoot. He can link up well, and he's got decent pace. Obviously not Martinelli quick, but like Saka quick. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, very, very good game. Very good performance by Arsenal. And let's just take it one game at a time. One game at a time. Ipswich next. We'll see what happens. Guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. The more we like the video, the more we share it, the more people we can reach, and the channel obviously grows and we reach a bigger audience. So support the channel, please, and support the community. And I'll see you guys at the next one.